So hi guys, I'm standing here with TargA, who's at Dreamhack Bucharest here in Romania. First of all, how are you feeling? Have you had a chance to enjoy the city or anything?
Well, I'm feeling good, and I haven't seen too much of the city.
Just the wild dogs.
Just the wild dogs. Well, I saw those last year as well.
Yeah.
But I saw some parts of the city last year, so I'm not going to do a lot of tourist stuff. But later tonight we're going to go to the party, so hopefully I get to see some different parts of the city.
Yeah. How long are you staying? Are you taking an extra day to stay and do some touristing, or will you go home and practice directly?
I'm going home straight away on Monday, just to practice and get ready for WCS.
Well, earlier this late summer you were at Assembly in Finland, and I thought that you haven't been interviewed in a while, so let's have an update about how you felt about that event and proceed forward. But it was a really hard event in Finland, and speak some about your performance over there.
Well, first of all, after Dreamhack Valencia, I took almost a week of holidays in Valencia, and then I got back to Germany, I think, relax some more. And I wasn't supposed to go to ASUS ROG.
Yeah.
So I got
a last-minute invite.
Yeah, last-minute invite. And Odi, the manager of Dignitas, said it was okay. He wanted to send me and so on.
Okay.
So I had about half a day of practice. And initially, I thought that I could do some damage up there. I was pretty happy with my group.
Yeah.
It was Hyun, Vipro, Velmu. And then I lost 3-2 to Velmu and 3-2 to Vipro. And then I think that I threw away most of the games that I lost. So it was disappointing, but it gave me some motivation to practice harder.
Maybe it was what would you say, like a boost for yourself also to, after your vacation you realize that you have to prepare more and maybe before the events.
Yeah, exactly that. I've had that happen a few times now where I'm super underprepared for a tournament. I go into the tournament not really caring too much, and I get a pretty decent reality check. It has happened too many times. So I obviously need to start practicing a lot. Yeah.
But then things turn around, I must say, in the VCS. Is that a result of you going back home and practicing a lot? Because I think you did an upset in your VCS group lately with Naniva and also the other players. So please guide us through your VCS group.
Yeah, I had Naniva, Todd, and 4GG, and it was actually a pretty nice group for me because I know quite a lot about all of those players. I played against Todd in 2 or 3 tournaments, so I knew his play style. I know what he likes to do, and same thing with Naniva. I practiced with him. I played tons with him on the ladder. I watched his games obviously from WCS, and same thing again for GG. Played him in many tournaments. Played him a lot on the ladder, so it was very easy for me to prepare. So I just prepared some builds and some possibilities. I played very different against Todd than I did against Naniva. And I had some stuff prepared for 4GG, but I didn't get to show it because he destroyed both Todd and Naniva.
Yeah.
And the first games against Naniva, they didn't go as I wanted. He kind of blind countered my style. And then I beat Todd with just some roach hydra aggression. And in the last set, Naniva tried to do an immortal all-in the first game, and I played against that so much, and I very rarely.
Nice round.
I very rarely lose to that. It's kind of easy. I was surprised that Naniva even went for it. And the second game on Derelict, I lost. I lost to a 3-gate sellout aggression. I was thinking that he was metagaming me, and he was trying to force me to make units. So I was very reluctant to making units, and of course that made me lose the game. And in this last set, I just scouted what he was doing. I got some links into his base, kind of lucky about that. I killed some probes and so on. I knew exactly what he was doing, so it was easy for me to counter. Yeah.
So in the future, of the VCS, sorry I forgot to check Wikipedia, but you're still in the next round now, right? And they haven't played yet. Yeah. So how do you know your group yet?
No, I think we'll know this week. There are 3 more groups remaining.
Oh yeah.
So probably on Thursday or Friday.
Sorry for not being updated. I totally missed out on that one. But if you check the list of already qualified players and the ones who are still remaining from the groups, who would you like to prefer to meet, you think, like in your current situation, like which matchup you are feeling comfortable in?
I would like to play Welmu. Like he got first in his group, so I think that's a pretty nice, like that would be nice for me. I would also like to get Vortex, because I played him at Dreamhack Valencia and I think I can beat him.
Yeah.
Like I would like to play like someone like Showtime, who I don't think he's too good. And I also, now I know how he plays, so it should be a bit easier for me to stop him.
Now you really upset people because you say that some people are not that good. And we got a request from Morrow as well. He wanted you to pinpoint 3 patch terrains that's out there right now. So I'm putting you on the spot here, but please enlighten us of the patch terrains you think are out there right now.
Show, Morrow, and Daishi.
Great, but and now in Bucharest, I guess stuff didn't go as expected for you, but you got through the first group stage really easy, but the second group stage against Cyril, Paul, and what was the third one?
Supernova.
Supernova, yeah. The only game you took was against Supernova. So what happened in that group? Like, was that group so hard that it...
I didn't know who Cyril was. So he kind of surprised me. Like he did like a... He plays kind of gimmicky, like it's super fast greedy Mutas and then follows up with Roachel in. Yeah. Obviously, if I hadn't known that was what he liked to play, I would have scouted it, yeah. Or at least made an effort to scout. I didn't think that he was good, so he surprised me. He was kind of decent. And Pal, I forfeited against him because I was already 0-2, so there was no point in playing that. My games against Supernova were pretty cool. The first game I tried like a 1-1 Roach cheese, and unfortunately he scouted it. Yeah. Then in the second game I did some early aggression, pretty much killed him. Then it went into a macro game where I had like the sickest lead ever. Yeah. And then the last game, it was almost 40-minute game on Belcher. Yeah. And neither of us maxed the whole game. We were constantly between 100 and 150 supply. So it was almost 30 minutes of straight fighting. Like it's one of the coolest games that I've played. Okay. And he played really, really good. Was it streamed that you know at any cost? No, it wasn't streamed. So I don't know if they released the replays, but if they release those replays, I would encourage people to check it out. At least, I didn't watch the replays myself, but when I was playing, it felt like this was the sickest game ever. Yeah. We took out each other's expansions so many times. Like back and forth. Really back and forth. We had some sick fights, and I think that I played pretty good, but he played better. Yeah.
Okay, but so after this tournament, first of all, your confidence, you haven't like been broken down by it. You know what you did wrong, or?
Yeah. Well, when I saw the player list for this,
I guess every player was like shit.
Yeah, I thought like shit. So I didn't take it too serious. Yeah. This was more like.
Pinpoint when you are in your skill, maybe? Or?
No, not really. Because I haven't really been practicing. I recently moved back to Norway, so and I had really, really bad internet for the first week. And right now I'm like trying to find an apartment in Norway and stuff like that. So I haven't had much time to practice. Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't really care because I knew that this was almost impossible for me to do well. Because the reason I wanted to go here was that like I knew that the Axiom players were coming, yep. and I assumed that like Jan, 4GG and those guys were coming as well. I didn't think that all the Caspa players were coming and Startail so on. So when I saw the player list, I kind of like okay, I'll go and have fun.
But it seems like the thin line, the red thread in your like personality is that you maybe lack some motivation to practice, or. What's about it? Since you said like every event we talked about here seems like you didn't practice a lot. Why is that? Like, is it the motivation or?
Motivation, and I've been playing a ton of Dota. That's mostly it. But it goes like up and down. Because for WCS I was super motivated and I practiced a ton. And I'm gonna start practicing again for WCS. But it's just like if I see that I probably won't do well in a tournament, like if I just check the player list, then I kind of give up. But that's something that I think I have to change, because I kind of think that I'm good enough to beat most of the top players there anyway, if I actually practice a ton.
So you know, you're in Dignitas it's a long time now ago, but so far have you been like enjoying the team? You feel like at home? Do you practice with other teammates? Do you have a good team atmosphere, or is it like a lone wolf game?
Well, I mean, it's StarCraft, so everyone is kind of like a lone wolf. But I practice some with Bling. I don't practice with the others too much. I'm not really sure how good Select is. And
it's just laddering a stream.
And Tefel is like kind of weird. Like he does well sometimes, but he plays pretty weird, so I don't really practice with him too much for CVC. But yeah, I mostly practice with Bling, but of course we all talk with each other and so on. And the team is fine so far. I mean, they send me to tournaments and so on, so I'm happy.
They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for your time. It was a real pleasure to interview you, and I've done a very few amount of English interviews, so it was really fun to have you as a test subject, but I think I did quite well anyway. But any shout-outs, like anyone you would like to thank for this event, or like the team and friends, family, loved ones?
First of all, I want to thank you for interviewing me, and Morrow.
For being the coach who doesn't even listen to the interview.
Yeah, and of course, big shout out to Team Dignitas, and you can follow me on Twitter at TargA01 and on Facebook, TargA01.
Great.
Thank you.
Good luck in the future, and see you around at the next events, and I hope you get a good group at VCS as well.
Thank you.
Cheers.